Do, 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 do,
What are we Pashas? Every Pasha has 10,000 messages, but there's always a central theme, which is the main theme of the Pasha. Everything's the main theme in Torah, but there's something which is like really the core of the Pasha. The core of the Pasha of Korach is the Knut,
It's great.
was the great evil in the trait of a person to make a machloket.
You're trying to show us what happened to Korach, that he fell down.
Yeah. So it says over here like this: if you want to know how severe the trait of machloket is in the eyes of Hashem, it means that a person has to make. It's very, very difficult. Because the Sahara always comes and says, the person doesn't say, I'm making a machloikis because he insulted me. I'm making a machloikis because I have a personal thing here. The person always said, I'm making a machloikis because I have to. It's for the sake of heaven. So you tell him, Shalom, no, I'm not allowed to forgive such a thing. I'm fighting for God, for the Bari Olam. And then, there's no way to fight the Yetzer Hara. Every person that makes a machloikis is always sure that he's making a machloikis l'shem shemayim. They say, it says in Chazal, kol machloikis, it's not the real pshat in Chazal. Kol machloikis shi l'shem shemayim seifel eskayim. Every machloikis where the person thinks he's making it for the sake of heaven is sure to continue forever. It's not gonna stop. The person has to be anyway. So what does it say over here? It says here that by year pain before the Sheyem, the Neyem, Tapom, the wives of the Adas Korach, their children, not only their children, their babies. It was a very tragic story. A whole family, you could say a whole tribe, nothing was left of them. All of them, young women, married, nursing mothers, everything wiped away. Boyurei, says Rashi, Kamer kosher amachloikis. Let's learn from this how severe the mishpat, the din, the judgment of Hashem is for machloikis, for fighting. Shrei Beis Din Shalmato. Beis Din, what age you have to be for Beis Din to give a punishment? Rabbi, so you tell me? 13. Beis Din Shalmato. Beis Din down here. Beis Din Shamayla, 20. And suddenly, babies. They come Ovdu Afyoim Keishodayim. Nursing babies, which are nursing from the mother's breast. So the question is, all right, so severe, but how do we understand this? How is one supposed to understand this Midas Hadin? What did the children do? What did they do? What did the babies do? It's their fault that they have such a father, grandfather. What's their fault? But you always are bottom like bottom on way, so you don't punish the children for the parents. What's the answer? So I'm saying over now, Chaim Shmulevitz says beautiful shot. We have a pasuk in Parshas Nitzavim. Pen yesh bachem shoyresh koire roish lan. What does it mean? Maybe you have amongst you somebody that has shoyresh. The word shoyresh in Hebrew is a root. Koire, which is going to multiply as time goes on. Koire is from the language of Pru Revu. Shoyresh Poire will give fruit, Rosh Balana are very bitter weeds, very bitter grasses. Maybe you have amongst you somebody that now it's just the root, it's just in the heart. But in the time, as time goes on, it will multiply to very bitter grasses. Says that that's the pasuk. Says the Ramban, when there's a shirish of merida, of rebellion in the kingdom of heaven in the fathers, this can, as time go on, bring in the children. By the children, that comes out even in greater aveirus. By the children, not always. Children have free will as well. This is not the rule. Doesn't mean if you see somebody has children who off the derech, it's proof about the parents. Let's not make any mistakes. They have to mention. But there is such a thing that the children make grow what is already by the fathers. So he says when there's a midah in the parents, says Rabbi Chaim Shmulevitz, there's a midah in the parents of machlokes. The children learn that midah, and they will be even bigger about it. Machlokes, and machlokes is the end of the world. It's very chamur. So we have a concept in the Torah. We have the concept in the Torah of ben sorer u'moreh. What's the story of ben sorer u'moreh? He's just by mitzvah, and he steals from his parents to eat meat and everything. And what does the Torah say? Nidoin al sheim soifa. He's judged for what's going to be. The end will be the way he's going. The end will be that he'll stand on Pashas Drochim, he'll stand on the roadside and kill people for their money. So Omar HaTorah will do him a chesed. What's the chesed? Yomus zakai ba'al yomus chayv. There's a certain cut way of dealing in Shemayim that Hashem takes the person is oimed. He's oimed not to do tshuva, and oimed he's in way of nature. He's going to do even bigger chatoim. Sometimes Hashem takes him away from the world to save him. He takes him away before he'll do those big chatoim. It's a chesed called Yomus Zakai, to die Zakai without a chet, when instead of dying after the chet, it's better to die before the chet. So it says in the same way, that's the pshat over here. The babies, even the babies growing up in this machane, in this club, so to speak, of machlokes, their future, what's their future? Their future, according to nature, is to be bali machlokes, even bigger one. Machlokes to continue. So Hashem took them. Oh, that's why it affects the machlokes, affects afilu yom keshadayim, because it's in the way of yom zakai or yom zakai. But let's go on to another side of the story, which is fascinating. The Rashi brings down Korach shepikeach hoy. Korach was a pikeach, and Moshe Rabbeinu says, you all want to be kohen gadol. There can only be one kohen gadol. I give you 250 people went. One is going to come out alive, and all of you are going to die. We're going to test you with potatoes. Korach is not a fool. The chances are 1 to 250. So once he's ready to put himself to suicide, and what made Korach think that he's going to succeed this battle? So says Rashi, Ro v'ruach hakodesh. He saw with divine inspiration. Shal shelet shal gedula yoytze mimenu, a whole chain of great people. The bnei Korach, the Levim, the Meshorim we have in Tillim, Kulam balei ruach hakodesh. All of them had divine inspiration. And Shmuel HaNavi, from the greatest of the Nevi'im outside of Moshe Rabbeinu, Shmuel HaRoya, is coming out from him. She said, Efsha kol hagdula. Is it possible that all this greatness is coming out from me, that I can't be wrong? How can such greatness come out from me? And what was his mistake? There's one thing he didn't see. The Torah says, Ubnei Korach loy mesu. The children of Korach, certain children, because it says the whole family of Korach, yes, but the certain children did not die. What does it mean they didn't die? It says Chazal, Mokoy mispatzel lehem begehenim. It means like this: the last second, they were already in Gehenna with all the others, and then suddenly they saw they're going to Gehenna. This is the end, and they realize that they're wrong, and they did tshuva. Power of tshuva. Hashem sent them, I put it in the modern language, they're already in the depths of the earth, and Hashem sent them an elevator to the bottom floor and lifted them up the elevator out of Gehenna. They're already falling into Gehenna, the elevator, boom! That's the power of tshuva. Tshuva is an elevator. It brings you up to, you could be already in Gehenna, and boom, lifts you up even out of Gehenna. They were already in Gehenna, together with Das Korach. And that he couldn't see, because Tshuva is also a Bria Chadashim. He couldn't see with Ruach HaKodesh that the children would do Tshuva. And that greatness that came out from him, it didn't come from him. It came from his children. His children that could turn around the last second and do Tshuva. This what brought them to a high madrege, and that's where the Bali Ruach HaKodesh came from. And that Korach didn't see. He was tailored the Gedula Ba'atzma, but it wasn't his Gedula. It was the Gedula that they had the last second, that they had the power to do Tshuva. When a person does Tshuva, he gives birth to himself. I saw a nice thing. They asked Akasha, Adam Harishon did Tshuva. Unbelievable Tshuva. 130 years he did unbelievable Tshuva. Why couldn't he get back? Everybody asked Akasha. If he wouldn't have sinned, he would have lived forever. So why couldn't Adam Harishon get back to this level and live forever? He did Tshuva, wipes away the Aveda. One of the Pashas says like this: to live forever is something unnatural, but it's true. In this world, everything has an end. This is a world of time. That's a supernatural thing. Why would Adam Harishon live forever? Because he was something unnatural. What was unnatural about Adam Harishon? Yitzir Kapov Shel HaKadosh Baruch Hu. HaKadosh Baruch Hu made Adam Harishon with his own hands. I say Hashem, that's forever. And I say Hashem, that's eternal. But when he did a chet, he destroyed the Maaseh Hashem. Tshuva, you give birth to yourself. His tshuva, that's when he became Maaseh Adam. He became recreated, but now it's Maaseh Adam. Maaseh Adam can't be Lenetzach. Tshuva is taka a Beria Chadosha. You recreate yourself. It's Maaseh Adam, that's the limitations of Maaseh Adam. It's no longer Maaseh Hashem. So Tshuva wiped it away, but this matona of Netzach, of eternity, this he couldn't have. So I just add to a story. They say, from one of the rabbis, I don't remember which one, it's but it's one of the big rabbis. He had a sefer, when he was a child, they had a sefer Yuchsin. The family had a sefer Yuchsin. All the yichus going back to previous generations, the great rabbis and everything, and the sefer Yuchsin got burnt. The mother was very sad. She was 3 years old. She said, Mama, don't be so sad about the sefer Yuchsin. From me will begin a new sefer Yuchsin. The sefer Yuchsin will begin from me. So he said, what? Oh, you see, I knew somebody will know. Remember from which one of the Chassidim. The sefer Yuchsin will begin from me. That's the power of Tshuva.
All the Rebbe started from him.
That's the Tshuva. That's Tshuva. That's the power of Tshuva. If a person does Tshuva, he begins his own sefer Yuchsin. That's the beginning of new sefer Yuchsin. And this is actually what took place over here. This is what the Torah tells us. Ubnei Korach lo'imeisu. The last second, the Gemara says, Afilu, the person has to know. There's a nature in a person, he doesn't avail, I did this, I did that, I did that. No, Shain, I'm lost anyway. Kashavarati. He brings him to an Afilah, that's the Yetzer Hara. So when he has to know, that's the Bnei Korach, they're already in Gehenna. A person can be already in the Gehenna and make an about in face, and he does Tshuva, and he's lifted up. That's the matona, the gift of Tshuva. No matter where the person has already fallen, he can lift himself up. This is the story of Bnei Korach. Say. That's the Chet Mokim Shemizbatzev again. It means, I know it's not literal. Chazal used but it means that they were already there. They were total shutvin. Mokim Shemizbatzev means that they had to be in Gehenna. They were already there at the door of Gehenna together because they were shutvin in Korach's fight. And the last second they hacked themselves. They caught themselves. The Chazal say it's literally like there's a sakana gashmi, there's a sakana ruchni. We know the famous Chazal that the Yechizkiyahu HaMelech said, "I'm hochim mekublani b'beis Abba. I have a Kabbalah from my great grandfather from David HaMelech." What's the Kabbalah? Afilu cherev chada munach al tzavor shel ben adam. Even if there's a sharp sword on the neck of the person, he's under the guillotine. He shouldn't stop praying. The guillotine can break. Hashem can save the last second. There's Agav, there was a famous tzaddik Yesod Olam in Yerushalayim, came from Russia. There's a whole book of him, Rav Yitzchak Zilber. So you heard of him, I'm sure. Rav Yitzchak Zilber, was in what do you call it? Was in the prison. So, I don't know, disappear or whatever, but in the Russian prisons, and there was a xera that they had to be killed the next day or something. And another inmate with him was like in a state of total hopelessness. And he said to the inmate, he said, "You don't have to give up hope. Stalin is a boss of the dam. He's only human, and a human being. The tomorrow doesn't belong to him." So he said. And that same night, Stalin got a stroke, and they were freed from prison.
Worried.
Could be as well. I don't know all the details. But anyway, that's the dogma kipshuta. He lived it. So like this concept exists in a sakona gashmi, in a sakona, in a physical sakona, the same thing is charav chada means even if midas adin, because in one's averis is munach atzaboroi. The last second, even a person entered the chet and he's in the rishus of the chet, he's in the rishus of the tumah, the Yitzhahar was already shaylat on him, he brought him down to a yerida. The last, in every second, that's the power of free will. He can make an about face and be loyal himself michadash and become close to Hashem. That's we learn from the Bnei Korach. Now, what is so terrible about machlokes? Let's see. There's another chazal to appreciate what the opposite of machlokes. How do we call the opposite of machlokes? The midah of Aaron, midah of Sholem. The Gemara says like this: Gadol hasholem. How great is the midah of Sholem? How great is it? So they bring a pasuk. Even if one is oived avodah zarah, even one is oived avodah zarah, but if there is peace between them, so the Satan doesn't punish them the same way. You see that in the Dor HaFloga, which was Apakorsis, they wanted to make a battle with Hashem. They weren't destroyed totally, like they were destroyed in the time of the Mabel, because there was peace. On the other hand, Machlokes kills even where there's Tovim v'Tzadikim. Where do we see a mashal, an example of this? The Gemara, the Talmud Yerushalmi, in the first parak of Maseches Pei, makes a comparison between the soldiers fighting in the days of David HaMelech and the soldiers fighting in the days of Achav. In the days of David HaMelech, it says they were Tovim, the Chayolim were Tovim the Tzadikim. They were Tzadikim with their Anashim Tovim. But there was one problem between them. There was Dilturia. You know, the Doeg spoke on David. There was revealing the secrets of one another. They were not ba'achdus with each other. On the other hand, in the time of Achav, it was a generation of Oidei Avodah Zarah. And the Navi Ovadia, he hid 150 Nevi'im Amitim. He hid them because Achav wanted to kill all the Nevi'im. And Achav could picture it. Now picture today. Somebody's hiding out the 150 people. How long could you keep the secret? How long could it not be known where the location are? There has to be a lot of people involved in hiding 150 people. And Achav did not know about it and didn't find it or wasn't knowledgeable. That means in the door of Achav, people didn't speak. There wasn't a radio telling you every detail of news, and there wasn't you weren't trained or brainwashed that you have to speak everything and everything has to be revealed. So it says, because in the generation of Achav, there was no revealing of the secrets of one another, even though they were Oidei Avodah Zarah, when they went to battle, they succeeded. The Tzadikim of David fell in battle because of the midah of Dilturia, and the Rishoyim, Oidei Avodah Zarah of Achav, which really Rishoyim, but because there wasn't peace between them, they fell in battle. So you see, this is unbelievable. What's the pshat? What's the amkis of this in? What's the depth of the matter? Now listen to this. Va'apela mamish, and this too, I'm saying, no, in time shmunavis, Lord, lifloyim mamish. Gemara in Gimel. Listen to a Gemara, let's learn together a Gemara, and let's analyze the Gemara. See what messages we can take out from this story. The Gemara brings a story. The story goes like this. Page 52a. Nunday Zomela. Hani Beit Trey. There were these two people. The Igri Behu Satan. The Satan was Megaravan. Who's the Satan? The Satan, he's the one The Satan is the one that brings a person to an Aveira. The Satan is the one that he comes before the seat of glory of Hashem, the Kisei HaKavod, and he's Mekatreg. He's the persecuting attorney in heaven to bring punishments. Is the Satan, where was the Satan? The Satan was between these two people. Why? The Kol Bei Shimshi, every Erev Shabbos, these two people, they managed, I don't know, maybe there was once narrow mikveh or something, they fought over the mikveh, basic nicht. But every Erev Shabbos, they managed to get into a machlokes. Kol Bei Erev Shimshi, they got into machlokes. Kol Bei Shishi Avikominsi Ba'adodi Adodi, they would fight with each other. Some people have it Erev Shabbos with their wives. Every Erev Shabbos. Ikler Rabbi Meir, the Hossam, Rabbi Meir came there, Akvinu Tlose Bei Shimshi Adovidu Shalmi. He kept them for 3 weeks until he managed to make peace between them. And then Rabbi Meir heard a koil. Not everybody could hear this koil, but Rabbi Meir could hear the koil. What did Rabbi Meir hear? Rabbi Meir heard Shama de Koma Vai. He heard the Satan crying, Oy, oy, oy. Rabbi Meir knocked me out of this house. Vai, Rabbi Meir, the Meir, I'll gabra mi base. The na afke Rabbi Meir, I'll gabra mi base. I had a resting place in this house. I was a very big chashuva, honored guest in this house, the Satan. And Rabbi Meir knocked me out of this house. I have to go look for a new house. I have to find a new house. I have to go to Golis. I had a wonderful resting place in this house. What does it say over here? Now let's learn up the good. That means where does the Satan, everything has a place in this world. HaKadosh Baruch Hu created a place for everything. Everything has its place and its time. Where is the place where the Satan resides? Where's his dwelling place? Where there's machlokes. Machlokes is the house of the Satan. The Satan doesn't have, where there is shalom, the Satan can't enter. In other words, like you have these signs in England, you go over each house, no trespassing. So Mr. Satan, there's a big sign on the house, if there's shalom in the house, Mr. Satan, no trespassing, you're not allowed to enter here, there's shalom here, it's not for you, you can't enter. But where there's a machlokes of the bias, there's a big sign, Mr. Satan, Bakasha, this is yours, welcome, this is your place. And that's why, so where there's machlokes, the Satan can be mekatli, because that's where he resides. Where there's no machlokes, the Satan has to leave, he has to go away. So that's why the soldiers of David HaMelech, even though they were tzaddikim, but they fell in war because the Satan was between them. The Satan can be mekatli. The soldiers of Achav even had Avodah Zarah, but all right, there's Averis, but there's no punishment for the Averis until the Beis Din Shomayla gets a kitru, gets a psak from the Satan. The Satan has to report the Averis. And if the Satan can't come to report the Averis, so there can't be a punishment. He can't report the Averis because he's not there, he's thrown out. Where is Shalom? So Shalom prevents an Oynish of Beis Din Shomayla. Now there's another kasha. Why did they specifically fight Erev Shabbos? The Gemara tells us that these fights, all right, we can say maybe because they're fighting over the mikveh, but the Gemara tells us that it was Erev Shabbos. We have to learn something from it. What's the idea? What's the difference when it was? If it says Erev Shabbos, that means the machlokes was connected with Erev Shabbos. What's the idea of Erev Shabbos? The Torah says like this. Listen closely. We have a lav in the Torah, and every like Kedarka Shel Torah, everything has many different ayin part of the Torah, 70 faces of the Torah. On Shabbos, you're not allowed to light a fire. Of course, in Pshuta, you don't light a fire, but we know all the Lamates Malachas are not written in the Torah. It's all Halacha Moshe Sinai. Suddenly, by Eish, the Torah writes specifically, don't light the fire on Shabbos. Lama Eish Yotzah. No, there's also the drushes of Chazal, Chalak Yotzah, so the Lav Yotzah, Lomisha. But why? But why is it written specifically in Ankis? There's also always a different time outside of the drushes of Allah. So it says the Zoya that Eish refers to the fire of Machlokes. Shabbos, like we say in Mincha, Menuchat Sholoi B'Shalva, the Kli, the vessel to receive the resting, the kedusha of Shabbos is the Midas HaSholoi. Shabbos Sholoi Mevayrach. Shabbos is a day of Menucha and Sholoi. Machlokes is Chilul Shabbos. Loisevaru, a different mashmois in the law, the Loisevaru Shmachom Shoseichen, even if the Machlokes is justified, forget about it. And then the week maybe you might have a right to do it. Shabbos leave the Machlokes, it doesn't fit with Shabbos. A Machloket on Shabbos is Chilul Shabbos. The midah of Shabbos is shalom. Now, listen to Dr. Peller. This doesn't say the Zohar, but I noticed something. Maybe it's a coincidence, and maybe but it's interesting. Take a look at the last letters of these four words. Sevaru, Eish, Bechol, Moshe Seichel. I don't have a blackboard here, but if you put the four letters together, you'll see that it's shalom. Sevaru, Vav, Sevaru, Eish, Vav, Shin, Bechol, Vav, Moshe Seichel. It's in the table. So now let's go back. Shabbos is a day of Shalom. Where there's Shalom, what does the Satan have to do? The Satan can't count on Shabbos. That's what it says in the Sidurim. You happen to sit a Sfard, the whole Gavin is the actus of Shabbos. The Satan doesn't have what to do on Shabbos. So the Satan is not, he's on vacation Shabbos, but he wants to work. So Erev Shabbos, he works extra, he works overtime to pay up for like Lechem Mishnah, like you get Lechem Mishnah for Shabbos in Gashmias. So he's Lechem Mishnah, he's working double on Erev Shabbos because he's going on vacation on Shabbos. He has to put it into a double job. So that's why in Erev Shabbos the Satan is more mekapre. Where's the kitter of the Satan? Machlokes. So when before the day of Enuch of Shalom, the Satan is misgaber the whole toitvoy to make a machlokes. That's his resting place. That's the Beis Shimshon. So that's Golul HaSholim. That's what it says, by the way. It says that Korach was cholek on the midah of Sholem. Korach was cholek on Shabbos. It's put that on Zohar. It's all the same inyan. Korach is because one has to know when a person is in a machlokes, he's pashut opening the door to the Satan, to the source of evil itself. It's unbelievable. This concept. So let's go over. Let's see what we can do. Let's go over again. So we have here, we spoke two chazal. First of all, the chazal that says that the achloikis is such a dover chamor, it's so severe that whereas Beis Din Shomata only punishes from 13 years old, Beis Din Shomata 20, suddenly machlokes even get punished nursing children at little babies, which is a pella. And the answer that's, well, how could it be? Where's the reason? So what do they do? The answer is that the hepech, because machlokes is contagious, and the family with children growing up with machlokes, they learn these midas, and they will be even greater bali machlokes. And the bali machlokes brings to all the evil. So Hashem does a chesed, and He takes away the person that he's oimed to become a bal machlokes. He takes him away before the time he should die innocent. That's one yesod. The second yesod that we said is that in spite of the fact that a person is influenced from his environment and from his generations, but that's not predetermined that it must be that way. There's a power, no matter what your Yerusha, your inheritance is from your surrounding, a person has free will, and the power of tshuva is to turn around and begin anew, totally anew. It doesn't make a difference where you are. You could be already at the bottom of Gehenna, and tshuva creates Hashem sends an elevator and lifts you up out of the Gehenna to the heights. That's the power of tshuva. Tshuva renews the person. That's the second message. Tshuva begins anew yuchsa. Third idea, why is machloket? Oh, and then we said, on the other hand, it says that shalom and machlokas are two opposites. Like machlokas creates an enormous midas hadin, shalom prevents the midas hadin. Where does the Gemara bring the proof of this idea? The Gemara brings two proofs of this idea. One proof is from the fact that we see that the chet of the mabul wasn't apokos, it's avodah zarah or stealing, which is more common. Of course, avodah zarah is more severe, or to fight with Hashem. Which avodah was a bigger, more serious offense? The dor afloga or the dor of mabul? The dor afloga was a much bigger offense. It's against Hashem to make a battle with Hashem, and yet we see that the punishment of the dor hamabul was much stronger than the punishment of dor afloga. This is attributed because even though they were apokos, the dor afloga, but there was unity between them. kol ha'or tzofa achas igor machodim. So the fact that there was shalom, this prevented the midas adin. Machloikis brings the punishment, and shalom prevents the punishment. Another example, historically speaking, is the Talmud Yerushalmi, that the soldiers of David HaMelech, even though they were toivim and tzaddikim, they went to battle and they didn't succeed. And the soldiers of Achov, which were Oivdei Avodah Zarah, went to battle and did succeed. What's the difference? Because in the generation of David HaMelech, however that they were tzaddikim, still there wasn't internal, there was domestic strife between them. And in the generation of Achov, they were bad ben Odom L'Mokayim, but there was not domestic strife. They were not revealing the secrets of one another. There was peace between them. And so it is that the midah of peace prevents the midas adin, and the midah of achloikis brings it about. Why is it so? What's the amkis? What's the depth of the matter? So we brought the Gemara in Gittin that when the mayor managed to make peace between these people, that these people were fighting on every Erev Shabbos, and when the mayor managed to take peace, he heard the Sultan cry out, "The mayor threw me out of this house." It means that we're the resting place. Everything has its place in this world. The resting place of the Sultan, where's the resting place of the Sultan? Where there's machlokas. Where there's peace, the Sultan has no permission to go there. Hashem gave permission to the Sultan to do his job, but he put on him certain rules. The Sultan has to obey those rules. Where there's shalom, the Sultan doesn't have any permission to enter. The Sultan has only permission to rest where there's machlokas. And then we brought the concept of Shabbos. You have to know that this is also the midas hashalom is specifically connected with Shabbos. And that's why it's brought down in the Gemara that they specifically had a machloikis on Erev Shabbos. Because Shabbos, the kedusha of Shabbos is directly, inherently connected with the midas hashalom. That means a person, in order to internalize in himself the kedusha of Shabbos, he has to make an extra effort on Shabbos to be in a state of inner peace and peace with others, of shalom. And this is explicitly in the Torah, in the eyes of the Zohar, in the special lab, Leisevaru Eish B'chol B'shveiseichem. Not don't ignite a fire, and it means in spiritually it means don't ignite the fire of dissension, of division on Shabbos. Be on Shabbos in a state of peace with others. We said it's rumors in the pasuk in the last letters. Sevaru Eish B'chol B'shveiseichem. The last letters is Shalom. Don't destroy the peace on Shabbos. No, even the Shem Shemayim for Yira Shemayim. It's against Shabbos. Even if you mean you want to tell somebody he's doing the wrong thing, and you want to destroy the peace of Kanois because you want to establish the halacha, you don't want the Saveira to continue, not on Shabbos. Put it away for Sunday. Don't do it on Shabbos. Shabbos, even if it's something that has to be spoken. Shabbos, one has to make the effort of Sholem the Shalom. And that's why on Shabbos the Sultan, that's why it says in the Siddur that on Shabbos the Sultan doesn't have the Shus permission to be master. Shabbos the Sultan has less job to do, less to be Mekatli. It's mamish before the Siddur, right? It's the Swami says Shabbos. It's such a thing. Oh, very good. It's here. It says it explicitly. It says.
What about Shabbos discussions at the Shabbos table?
Shabbos
The
discussions,
big
that's
arguments
later.
there.
That's machloikis shel Hillel v'Shamai. That's
Just said
Talmidei
for spiritual
Chachamim.
reasons.
Tami, no. That's very we're talking about where it's personal and it hurts another person's feelings and it's telling him that he's not in order. Don't get personal about telling somebody that he's not in order. That's what we're talking about. Difference of opinion is not is objective. But don't to tell the person he's not in order, this is wrong what you're doing, this is wrong what you're saying, and you're not in order, that you think this way, that's insulting. That's already Shaila Machloikis. How does it say over here? Kat ayul Shabso, when Shabbos comes, iu ihi is yachadas this parshas misitra achra. It separates itself from the sitra achra. You know what the sitra achra is? The other side. The sitra achra is the Sultan. That's the Sultan. As it says that Shabbos is this parshas misitra achra. The whole dinim is abramino. There's no dinim in Shemayim because the dinim come. That's the lois of our weish b'chol mosh v'seicha. That there's no din. Like Beis isn't done the Beis in Shemata, Beis isn't done the Beis in Shemayim. The whole dinim is abramino. The iyush the oros be yechida the neiru kadisha. There's only the oil of achdus of Hashem. It continues. Chol shultoni rugzin mori the dinim. All the shliter of kas and those which demand din. Kulu arkin, they all run away. This abruina. The only shlita in all the worlds is the panim me'iris of HaKadosh Baruch. That's what it says over the Garden of Eden. That's why, because Shabbos is such a kedusha of achdus, so that's why before, in order to prevent us, the sun works extra hard. In order that we shouldn't have the vessel to receive the kedusha of Shabbos, he tries to, especially exclusively, to create a machlokes erev Shabbos. If he succeeded in creating a machlokes erev Shabbos, he prevents us from bringing and absorbing into ourselves the kedusha of Shabbos. Conditional on the kedusha of Shabbos is the midas hashom, the opposite of Korach.
So the person who have shalom, no midas din on them.